Let's go back to draft night.
Yeah.
Your dad said, strive for greatness, not wealth. Can you talk about how you put greatness first throughout your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mindset thing, and when he said that, you know, that may have been people's first time hearing that, but that's something that throughout my whole life I had heard often, and heard my brothers, you know, get the same line from him. So for me, it was always like, yeah, just find a way to be the best at your craft. You know, for me, it's always been, how can I compete? Whatever it was in, football, basketball, I mean, truly, whatever sport it was. I know I only said two, but like, it was everything growing up. And yeah, it was like, how can I be the best at it? The wealth will come, stuff like that. If you're doing what you love, doing it at a high level, then, you know, that stuff will take care of itself.
So how did it feel today?
Yeah.
Driving in, that same drive,
yeah,
but knowing you were signing a long-term extension that's going to keep you here until at least 2030.
Yeah, man. I mean, to be completely honest with you, Eric, it didn't feel much different, the drive. It was more of like, now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, it's good to know I'm gonna be doing that drive, that same one for you know, the foreseeable future here. You know, knowing where I'm gonna be, knowing I'm part of you know, this new staff, and the people here believe in me, and they want me around for what we're about to do, because I believe it's gonna be special, man.
You were the definition of consistency amidst instability, meaning one of 5 receivers in National Football League history to have 80 receptions and 1,000 yards receiving in each of your first 3 years. But you caught passes from 7 different quarterbacks. How were you able to do that?
It's kind of, you know, it's similar to what we just talked about with the, you know, strive for greatness. Just no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what, you know, what sport it is, whatever it may be, just find a way to do your job and do it to the best of your ability. And do I think I left, you know, a lot of plays out these last, you know, 3 previous seasons? I have, and honestly, that's the part that gets me the most excited, is that I still have a lot of plays left to go make, to go prove myself to my teammates, to this league, and yeah, it's just always trying to be consistent, trying to be yourself, the best version of yourself, and being there for your teammates, man. It's something that, you know, when you go through different things, when you move around as a kid, you start to realize, okay, I got to be the one that's constant, consistent, right? So, yeah.
Pat Surtain recently told Johnny Manziel that you probably aren't talked of enough, that you're a polished receiver, you can play any position, you're crazy athletic, can catch anything, and are very elusive. What are your thoughts on that?
No, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I love both of those dudes. I respect both of their games, and you know, spent a lot of time watching both of those guys. So, Surtain, obviously, I've went up against, you know, a lot these first 3 years, and you know, to hear him say something like that is special, because, you know, I feel the same way about him. He's someone that doesn't make any route easy, doesn't make any rep easy, and you know, being a guy that loves to compete and loves the cerebral side of football, it's always like a game within the game with him. And yeah, man, you know, he's I mean, he's one of the best in the league for a reason. So for him to say that, it's awesome. That's awesome.
You're a bit of an artist out there, and you're really creative. Now, do you attribute that to a hoops background, because you were a fantastic basketball player, or a mindset?
Yeah, I kind of attribute it to a mindset, because when I played basketball, I was, you know, just, it looked a little different. I kind of did things a different way. Not to say there's one right way, one wrong way. It was just maybe a little different. And I don't know exactly what to attribute it to. I think maybe my younger self was so into the sports, and, you know, watching it and knowing all the players, and knowing like their skills and what they don't do well, and like obsessed with just the game, basketball and football, that it took me a little longer to realize that I was like good, because I was so like, these are the good guys and the rest of us are just playing, you know, because there's pros and there's not. And I was always watching the college and pros, and like, these are the guys that are good at it. Me, I'm just a kid. Like, it didn't really click to me that I was good at football until I was maybe in high school, I would say. You know, I knew I was good, don't get me wrong, but it was like, I don't know, it just never, some of this stuff didn't ever seem feasible, right? So like, when you study the game in a way of like, I'm gonna be an analyst one day, and then all of a sudden you're good at the game, then it's like, oh, you know a lot about the sport as well. So like, I don't know. It's honestly, I feel like I'm confusing you. It's kind of hard to put in words.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I just fumbled the words, but I would say that it didn't start with me playing. It started with me like studying the game. It started with me like loving basketball and football. It wasn't just go out there and run, and I did that too. But I loved football and basketball before I even was good at them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Can you explain your competitive nature? Sometimes after games,
Yeah.
you will have a fantastic game and you'll finish up in the locker room talking to the media scrum, and I'll wait for you after the game and say, hey man, you accomplished this today. And for you, you never express satisfaction, even though you love the game. Like
Yeah.
you always think there's another step.
Oh yeah, because you know you can't get complacent. You can't be comfortable with what you just did. You can't rest on your laurels ever. And the way I see it, there's no laurels for me to even rest on, right? Every time I go out on the field, every time I go out at practice, you know, it's about proving myself to myself, to my teammates, and to the man upstairs that like what he put me on this earth to do, I'm doing it the right way. I'm using my talent the right way. Otherwise, I'll feel away, right? And yeah, just being around the game and growing up with older brothers, like yeah, losing sucks, you know, whatever it may be. If you don't feel like you played good, you're not gonna maybe, you know, feel good about it, you know. And there's a way you win, there's a way you lose, and that's just always been the approach. So I feel like you know, sometimes it can get the best of me, but I'm just competitive, man, and that's, you know, I feel like it's part of the reason I'm here right now.
Do you feel a special connection to the Jets fans in your approach? Because they look at you and the way you play. Like every play is your last, and you want more, and you want to be a part of this turnaround. You want to be part of this build, and they relate to you.
Yeah, I mean, this fan base is special, man, because the time they've taken the time to understand me. You know, I've had some you know, things I've done out there that when I watch it on film, I'm like, I can't do that, you know. And for them to be understanding and not, you know, write me off as Garrett's this or that means the world to me. And like you said, they expect greatness out of me. So when I go out there and you know, don't execute or maybe show a little emotion, you know, it's okay. And I feel like I tried to get that across to the fans my first 2 years, is that this is a tough sport that we play. This is a competitive sport that we play. And it's not always gonna look like everything's going great, because the reality of it is sometimes it isn't, right? And we're all human. We all handle failure in different ways, right? So I feel like we're there, yeah, as a fan group, as a fan base, me as a human. Like there's an understanding there, and I'm so thankful for them, man. They've built me up to this point, and you know, these first 3 years have been super special because of this fan base.
When you came back this spring, you had such a peace about yourself. Even after a regime change, the positivity, what happened in terms of, hey, listen, Mooj is here.
Yeah.
AG is here.
Yeah.
This foundation, I see it.
Yeah.
I want to be here. And where a lot of guys might have been like, I'm not going to come for voluntary workouts. You're like, why wouldn't I be here?
Yeah. For me, it was about working with like-minded people, man. It took me one conversation with AG and with Muji to realize, oh, these dudes aren't messing around, right? And that they think how I think, which, you know, oftentimes I feel like, you know, it's hard. It's just different sometimes, and you expect perfection out of yourself. At practice, there's no balls on the ground, stuff like that I see out of them, and it took me one conversation with them to be like, okay, yeah, and that's what it takes. I truly believe stuff like that is what it takes to get to that point. So for me, it wasn't about how I feel. It was about what's best for the team. What's going to get my coaches to believe in me. I got to come in and prove myself to AG and Muji. I got to come in and show them that I'm serious about this. They can't, you know, they don't know me initially, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know me. It was, you know, they might hear things and I got an opportunity to go and improve who I am or show who I am and just meet them, right? Just meet people, the people you want to work with and build something special with. So for me, it was more about that. It wasn't about, it was about, and also just like, I love football, man.
Yeah.
We get the opportunity to go out here and play football with some guys I'm friendly with, like, man, it's easy. We're gonna go play football.
Yeah.
You know, so that was kind of the mindset there.
What's next for you? AG said it in the spring. Basically, he was talking Keyshawn Johnson speak. Get him the damn ball. And Tanner Engstrand, your new offensive coordinator, he was a critical cog there in Detroit. What do you think is next for you now with this new staff?
Yeah, playing meaningful football in December and January. You know, that's the ultimate goal. I think the rest of the stuff that, you know, personal goals that are, you know, me and my teammates may have will come with the team success. You know, can we buy into AG, Muji, Engstrand, their plan, their philosophy? Can we understand it, and can we go out there and execute it on Sundays when it matters, so that we can give ourselves a chance to even play, you know, meaningful football here down the stretch. And I think that's the thing about football. You do everything right, and it gives you a chance. So we got to give ourselves the ultimate best chance to, you know, play meaningful football, and, you know, that all starts next week. I'm excited, man.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
How special is it that you're locked in, then a couple days later he takes to social media and says,
Yeah.
deal is done?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like me and him have had each other throughout this whole NFL process, to the point where, you know, some of the other rookies will talk about their experience, and me and him likely can't relate, you know, and Jermaine as well. Like, we just came in this thing together. We were all first-round picks, so we didn't have to bear that weight of feeling like, oh, I'm the first-round pick, I gotta, you know, we all three went through it. And then with Sauce this past weekend getting his deal done, man, we talked on the phone, and it's just special, man. We both are executing on things we talked about, you know, those same days that we got drafted, you know, flying over. So knowing that he accomplished his dream, and you know, that he's crossed off some, you know, one of the steps that he has on his list is awesome. Now it's just about these things that I've been talking about. How can we find a way to play meaningful football, and it's awesome, man. But yeah, man, I got a lot of love for Sauce, and he deserves it.
July 22nd, you guys are reporting to training camp,
Yeah.
but you're also going to turn 25. I gotta imagine this is gonna be one of the best birthdays ever.
It is, man. It is. Get to go play football, get to go come in here on my birthday. So it's always been like that. I've gotten so used to it to the point where, you know, we don't really plan dinners for my birthday. It's like football time. You know, Garrett will be good, my mama said. He's good.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you, A.